WCBI News at 6 starts now.
The number of coronavirus cases in Mississippi has nearly doubled in just one day. There are now 6 presumptive positive cases being reported, and the state of Alabama declares a statewide emergency following its second known case. This means all students in schools K through 12 will stay home beginning March 19th. Right now, schools in Alabama will close for 2.5 weeks. One Alabama case is confirmed from Montgomery County, the latest from Jefferson County, that's Birmingham. In Mississippi, 3 cases are from Forest County, that's Hattiesburg. There is 1 in LaFleur, and 2 have not been identified by counties. Doctors with Mississippi's Department of Health confirmed the latest cases. New at 6, so far there are no cases of the coronavirus in the Golden Triangle, but Columbus is feeling its effects. Visit Columbus cancels the 2020 Columbus, Mississippi Spring Pilgrimage. The Columbus Lowndes Convention and Visitors Bureau called the move necessary, citing concerns about the spread of the virus. Any events scheduled during the 2 weeks of pilgrimage, including what would have been the 30th installment of Tales from the Crypt, are also canceled. Pilgrimage was scheduled to run from March 26th through April 4th. It will be an extended spring break for some public and private school students in our area as concerns grow about the coronavirus. Allie Martin has more on the latest developments from Tupelo and how some activities and events are going on as planned with extra awareness.
A motion by Mr. Praker, second by Mr. Wheeler. All in favor?
In an emergency meeting, Tupelo school board members unanimously voted to extend spring break for students for 1 week.
At this moment in time, we believe the uncommon result is to keep the children and all the community members of Tupelo safe.
By extending spring break, anyone who traveled out of the state or country during the holiday can make sure they have no symptoms before returning for classes March 23rd. The action from TPSD comes 1 day after the city of Tupelo canceled all youth league sports through the end of March. In another executive order, Mayor Jason Shelton ordered all hotels to stop buffet-style service until April. Also, the Bancorp South Arena received word that Monster Jam and a concert by Lynyrd Skynyrd have been postponed after experts warned people to avoid large crowds.
We're one of the larger gathering spots in this part of the country, or this part of the state, so we're very aware of that. And we want to protect our staff as well, not just our guests and everybody else, but our staff as well. The monthly meeting of the Tupelo Elvis Presley Fan Club went on as scheduled in the Fellowship Hall of St. James Catholic Church. There was music and food, but not as many handshakes.
It'll pass like the flu does and that kind of thing. People just always need to be precautious, about stuff. And I have sanitizer in my truck that I keep all the time. Been doing it for years. It's just, just a little bit of common sense.
Everyone from elected officials to public health experts says a little common sense goes a long way. People are encouraged to follow the guidelines of the CDC. Wash your hands regularly, use hand sanitizer, and if you're sick, stay home. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Now, Lowndes County schools will be out Monday and Tuesday. For the very latest, to check and see what your school is doing, you can check out our website, WCBI.com. In other news, due to growing concern, spring break is extended in Lowndes County. I just told you about that. Superintendent Sam Allison says while out on spring break, some students traveled out of the country and to other states where cases have been reported. District leaders will spend the next few days gathering information, discussing ways to keep everyone safe and clear from any potential sickness.
So hopefully Monday we'll come up with, hey, this is our plan moving forward. And it may be as simple as just looking at the Center for Disease Control on their website, but I felt like coming off spring break, we needed 2 days to make the best decisions for our students. It was not so much of a scare because we don't have the cases here, but we know that could happen and start spreading very quickly, and I wanted us to be as proactive as we could.
Now, some private schools have also made changes to their scheduling. Again, all of that is listed on our website, wcbi.com. If your school is not on that list, it hasn't contacted WCBI or made any official changes. Starkville and Oktibbeha County leaders continue to plan for any positive COVID-19 cases. Today, EMA Director Kristen Campanella introduced a response plan to city leaders. She's sharing information to help prevent the spread of the virus in schools and businesses. A virtual meeting room is helping those in charge to stay healthy.
We have 4 different levels of activation in our Emergency Operations Center. So we started at level 4, which is just basically monitoring the situation, and then we go to a level 1, which is all hands on deck. So even with us at a level 4 right now, we have created a virtual situation room for our supporting agencies that are working to prevent this and to kind of keep the communication flow within all the departments.
Campanella says department heads in a virtual communication room can log on to the portal and provide information as needed. College towns could soon feel the pinch of having students stay at home. WCBI's Stephanie Poole joins us live in the studio to talk about the economic impact Starkville could see from the policy. Stephanie?
That's right, Joey. The biggest retailers and the smallest mom and pop shops all have one thing in common. They need money to stay in business. The loss of MSU students means the loss of a lot of customers, and that has business owners facing an uncertain future.
We don't really know yet. We want to remain optimistic that although campus is closed, you do have a lot of students who live in this general area who still have access to their apartments, and we're hoping will remain in Starkville.
Barton Dinkins owns Two Brothers Smoked Meats, a restaurant in the Cotton District. He says there's usually a lot of foot traffic from students, but with majority of them possibly returning home, sales could suffer.
The local economy, while it might slow some, hopefully we can get everybody safe and good quickly and, keep business rolling.
For Dinkins, a loss of students can also mean a loss of staff.
We've told them, if you feel safer at home, please stay at home. If you need to come back and work, you can.
And it's the same reality for Coffee House 929.
I wouldn't say on the skeleton crew here, but we are definitely minimizing the number of staff that we have at one time. My staff actually just reached out to all of them, those that are students, and even of them want more time off. And some of them requested more time off, which was great, which is going to help me level out the playing field a little bit in the schedule.
Sheridan says 2/3 of her workers are students.
As a small business, it becomes increasingly difficult, as time goes on, based on trying to gauge if a pop is going to happen or if we'll have an influx of customers one day and not have enough inventory.
Mayor Lynn Spruill is encouraging citizens to support their local businesses.
Food and beverage and sales tax is critical to our economy and to our city as we go forward and do the things that we need to do to meet our obligations. So it's going to be painful. Hopefully it will end sooner than later.
For now, owners and residents are just taking it one day at a time.
I'm going to eat out at least every day. I'm going to patronize as many of our restaurants as I can. Obviously going to shop local where necessary. And, we just need to be prudent. We need to stay calm. We need to go about our lives as normally as possible.
Mayor Spruill says with the possibility of a loss in sales revenue, the city will continue to monitor its budget and make adjustments if necessary.
Temperatures today much different than yesterday, only in the 50s and low 60s currently around here. We are looking at our Vernon Skycam at Durham's Pharmacy. Notice the wet weather here. We have some showers, a slow-moving band of showers basically sitting around the Vernon area right there, and another batch from Houston back to Grenada. So we do have some rain out there, and this will continue on and off during the evening and overnight hours. Fairly light activity, but showers nonetheless. And it looks like temperatures will be hovering somewhere down into the mid to upper 50s for lows tonight, probably more in the way of mid 50s. Now we'll have a rebound in temperature tomorrow. Look at this, a widespread warm day for us, widespread 70s again, much like yesterday, but not too much rain potential. We'll talk about it coming up.
If you have plans to fly later this year, you might need a new driver's license. Travelers need a specific license to indicate they are Real ID compliant. Congress passed the law in 2005 to set standards for the issuance of identification before you board a commercial plane. The deadline to get the identifying ID is just a few months away. It's estimated only 40% of people in the country have the correct license needed to fly commercially. The Gold Star campaign is helping remind people of the requirement.
Come on October 2020, you will have to be what we consider called Real ID compliant. You will have to have a star, a gold star, if you're a Mississippi resident, on your driving license in order to fly. Or you can fly with your passport. You'll be allowed to get on the aircraft. Or if you're military personnel, you can fly with it. You can use your military ID.
Again, the deadline is October 1st to become Real ID compliant. An inmate found dead yesterday afternoon at Parchman is identified by state corrections officials. Foul play is not suspected in 42-year-old Michael Robertson's death. Robertson was serving a 10-year sentence for a drive-by shooting in Union County. He was sentenced in August 2017. An autopsy will be done to determine Robertson's cause of death. Some area students spend part of their spring break helping a group that helps others. We'll take a look when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Members of a North Mississippi youth group spent part of their spring break helping a disaster relief ministry. Every spring break, the West Jackson Street Baptist Church youth group from Tupelo takes part in service projects throughout the area. This week, some members of the youth group spent time at 8 Days of Hope's headquarters in Pontotoc County. They washed equipment and trailers that were recently used during relief operations in Jackson.
Important that we realize how much that they serve us whenever things are going bad, especially in our communities, and we're given an opportunity like this to be able to come out and serve them, and I think it'd be a mistake to let that opportunity pass, so we wanted to come out here and help them.
Just made a phone call to them and said, hey man, how can we serve you? And so we're out here just helping them out in the warehouse, trying to get things together for them so that they might be able to continue to serve in this amazing ministry that they have.
Now, other members of the youth group made care baskets for those in hospitals and nursing homes. And you know what? It's been a great day to get outside, maybe tomorrow even, but not this evening.
No, we have some wet weather out there, but today much cooler than yesterday, though, if you want a little fall chill or early spring chill. But tomorrow we are back into the 70s. But yeah, we have a little bit of light to steady rain in our region here this evening. Just have the umbrella on standby. I'm back with the 7-8 next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, on this Friday evening, we have some rain out there. It's been a cloudy day for us yesterday, highs in the low 80s. I think officially in Columbus, we were 81 yesterday. Much different today. Look at that, the clouds, the showers. But some of you appreciate that because we just know where we're headed later on this spring and into the summer with the heat and humidity. And you can see in Louisville, Mississippi right there, the clouds moving across our region today. As of 6:18, we do have the heaviest and most concentrated rain along and north of 82 out towards Coffeyville and Grenada. Not really anything to write home about here, but showers are out there. Temperatures will be warming into the mid to upper 70s tomorrow. We'll have still a chance for some showers at 9 o'clock in the morning here on our Saturday, but once those showers go away, it should be a pretty nice day. Mostly cloudy in general, but a few breaks. Southerly winds will get us well into the 70s. We're going to go with 76 in Columbus. Would not be at all surprised to see temperatures warmer than that. They overachieved yesterday. We will likely be in the same boat tomorrow. South of I-20 today, it's been in the upper 70s and low 80s, and that's the warm air coming back north for tomorrow. So widespread 70s expected. It could be a bit of a gloomy start, so don't be discouraged weather-wise here if you wake up in the early hours of the morning. This frontal boundary is going to be lifting back to the north, and that will give us a chance for some warmer air. We are in this battleground zone between high pressure in the Gulf and low pressure across the northwest, and little disturbances will move across this zone all weekend, all week long next week, and that will just keep the chance of rain going. And this frontal boundary that we've been talking about for the last couple of days, oscillating back and forth, watch what it's going to do. It moved south through our area this morning. It's going to pivot and move back to the north as a warm front on Saturday. So the better rain chances will be north of that boundary. We should be in this warm sector. 70s and 80s, basically dry, and then the front's going to come back down through tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, and into Sunday we'll have more clouds and some showers around, and then this is probably going to lift back to the north too, getting into next week, and that will get us gradually warmer and warmer temperatures here. A shot at more 80s by the end of next week as well. So rain potential here through tomorrow night and Sunday morning, anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch, so not overwhelming amounts of rain here, but some rain nonetheless here for probably Saturday evening, Saturday night. Can't rule out some early rain Saturday, Joey, but most of tomorrow will be dry for any yard work or anything like that. And notice how those daily storm chances continue with warming temperatures as we get into next week.
Definitely going to need it, because once you cut the yard, you're going to just keep doing it all the way until December, right?
I started the cycle last weekend. Not this weekend, but yes, once you start, it's got to continue.
It does. All right. Thanks, Keith. Well, the changes keep coming as the sports world continues to be placed on pause. The latest on Mississippi athletics next in sports.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The situation that has gone from by the day to by the hour. After all the postponements and cancellations from yesterday, even more changes have been made today, starting with the NCAA and the SEC. The SEC has pushed its potential starting date from March 30th to April 15th. Teams will not be able to practice or compete in games until at least that date. The developing story within the hours, the Big 12 has canceled spring athletics through the remainder of the school year. Along with the impact to SEC baseball and softball, Ole Miss has announced the Grove Bowl and the festivities around the spring game have been postponed. Mississippi State has not yet made an official announcement on the future of the spring game. While the future of NCAA spring athletics remains very uncertain, the NCAA Council Coordination Committee has agreed to grant spring sport athletes an extra year of eligibility. What remains to be determined is the future for winter sports athletes, eligibility, as well as logistics in terms of scholarships and roster spots for spring athletics. While the future of the NCAA remains day-to-day, the NJCAA following suit with the NCAA, moving its hopefully starting date from March 30th to April 3rd. In a statement, the NJCAA says that if spring athletics are to cancel before the proposed start date, the athletes will not lose their eligibility, similar to the NCAA. So the changing of the sports world, this is our new reality. College athletes from our area reacting to the news that their seasons were coming to an end or put on hold. We start with Columbus native Robert Woodard of Mississippi State, summing it up perfectly. A sad day for basketball. No March Madness. Jordan Danberry, heartbroken and a sad face. On the baseball side, Ole Miss's Hayden Dunhurst saying, "I've never been a part of a team so special before. We will bring a national championship to Oxford." And Mississippi State's Tanner Allen, one day after sweeping the number 3 team in the country, completely devastated to hear the news. Public health and safety will always be the utmost importance. Whether you believe it's to be an overreaction or not, it's better to be safe than sorry. But at the same time, you're allowed to say, this stinks. The last time we'll watch Tyson Carter and likely Reggie Perry in the maroon and white was this past Sunday when the Bulldogs defeated Ole Miss to earn the double bye in the tournament. Were the Bulldogs on the bubble? Sure. But now they won't even get a chance. The last time, the only senior on Hail State hoops, Jordan Danberry, will lace it up for SEC basketball, ending in a loss. The Bulldogs are primed to reach its 6th straight NCAA tournament. Now it's what could have been. And SEC baseball was right here. Ole Miss versus LSU and Mississippi State versus Arkansas. It should have been tonight. The Rebels off to one of its best starts in school history, 16 straight wins. And Mississippi State sweeping Texas Tech. As Tanner Allen said, they were just hitting their stride. And Mississippi State softball, one of 3 teams in all of college softball with 25 wins. They were also on a 14-game win streak, all of a sudden put to a halt. It's best to be safe, but it's also okay to be sad. Sports are our release, our chance to get away and root for the underdog, root for the never-before-seen moment, for the teams we grew up loving and watching. Sports will be back, hopefully sooner rather than later. And when it does, the seats will be filled and our spirits will be full once again. Stay safe. That's it for sports. We'll be back right after the break.
Most of tomorrow will be dry. We're looking at some 70s, very nice weather for our Saturday. Some showers return Sunday. A little bit cooler. Next week we'll gradually warm it up, but guess what? More storms in the forecast.
Rain, rain, rain.
The year of rain continues.
Indeed. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.